Hi, I'm John. I live in central Scotland and I like to explore the natural world around me and make videos about it. Today we're going looking for one of my nemeses. I've spent years trying to get a decent photograph of one of these guys, a grey heron. And there is actually a heronry up here. So I'm at the Dams to Darnley Country Park. It's an interesting park. It's all uphill on the way up. It's all downhill on the way down. No big surprise there. But it's kind of a single narrow walk through, and then you go past several dams, I guess. They don't believe those still provide water supply for Glasgow. They did previously provide a water supply for Glasgow. We're about two or 3 miles south of Glasgow here, I would say, depending on where you measure the edge of Glasgow. So I'm going to go up here and going to try and get a photograph of a heron. If not, there are probably some other water birds up here. Kit-wise today, I've got crop DSLR camera, so that's the one with the smaller sensor. It's a nice sunny day, so I shouldn't have a problem with that. And my largest lens, which is a 150 to 500 millimeter lens. So on that crop sensor, that basically works out at sort of 16 times magnification. So let's head up the hill and see if we can get a photograph of a heron. I love the lush greenery you get as you walk up through here. Like so many places in central Scotland, you know, at some point this was somebody's estate and country house and they planted many different trees. And also potentially there's some of the original Caledonian forest in here. So a lot of Scotland, despite what you might see, isn't open moorlands. It's actually temperate rainforest. And nowhere kind of more so than places like this, where it's just every kind of tree under the sun. Plus a massive amount of rhododendron. Rhododendron's interesting. It's an invasive plant species in Scotland. Was brought in for all the country houses, but it has grown absolutely everywhere. So it's almost a native plant at this point. Here's a great example. I hope you can see there's this gorgeous pink plant behind me. These deep kind of waxy leaves and then these gorgeous pink flowers. And this is something that came in from India, I believe, from the foothills of the Himalayas with the Victorians and the Edwardians. And they planted it in their Scottish country estates, and it's just everywhere. As a youngster, we used to play inside them because the bushes grow huge and they're kind of hollow inside, so you can build dens and play inside the bushes. Behind me is the first of the dams. There are 3 dams going up the hill. So this here is the dam wall of one of them, and we kind of look down there. It says keep out. They've fenced all this in. You used to be able to go down and look at a whole bunch of how the pumping station worked down there. So here's the plan. I'm going to head up. Not going to take the camera out of my bag. Also not going to transmit or record while I'm doing this. I'm just going to take a walk and see if I can spot where the heron is and wander past it, and then we'll make a plan for her to get a photo, because if you go waving cameras at them, they run for it or fly for it. I have a million photos of the back end of herons departing. I've come up to the second dam now, which you can see behind me here. Once again, very pretty, but no sign of Mr. or Mrs. Heron. There's a gull. Quite often I've seen them sat over there on the spillway, just on the sort of bridge there. But they're very wary. But today, no luck. I can see somebody over the other side walking their dog in a field. It's possible that they've just been disturbed. Comment below if you're one of those people who can't move for herons. They're all over the place, and it would be the easiest thing in the world to get a photograph using just your phone. I've heard that before. It's just me they don't like. Interesting. Just noticed a little pedestrian bridge here I've never seen before. A little footpath going over it. Now this goes over the spillway from the top dam. So up at the top of the hill is probably the largest of the reservoirs, and it's been empty for about 2.5 years. The reason is that they were doing a whole bunch of work on the dam and turning the dam into more of a tourist attraction and adding car parking. They also closed a road through there, which was a kind of a important road, and they weren't planning to close it for as long as they did, but they closed it for 18 months because once they started kind of renovating it, they discovered all kinds of utilities hidden underneath that nobody knew about. So it's been a huge effort. Now that road has just reopened, and I went along it earlier and thought I'll try out the new car park in the country park, and no luck, because they've opened the road but they haven't yet opened all of the other facilities. So I don't know if this path is going to go all the way through, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to head up here, and we will see if we can get up to the top reservoir and if we see any creatures on the way. I should say it's early June in Scotland, and it's currently a really nice t-shirt weather, which is 12 degrees centigrade. I could probably translate that into Fahrenheit if I tried hard enough, but I'll let you figure that one out for yourselves. It's not particularly warm, let's say 60-ish. Meanwhile, still not seeing anything except seagulls and some martins of some kind. Not the fluffy pine martin variety, the flying variety. Anyway, on with the walk. So the fun of wide-angle cameras like this is it makes it really hard to show things. But what I'm seeing is I have run out of road. Also, behind me you can see there's a barrier across here. Hopefully you can see that. And then up here, this is the dam and the road going across the top of it. But they have blocked it off right now, which is a shame because, I'll flip the camera around. If you can see it, just over there in that corner is a really pretty waterfall. Maybe in edit I can zoom in that video a little bit. There's also a gull doing its thing. Come on. Taking a closer look, and of course this is Scotland. So in Scotland we have what's called a right to roam, which basically means as long as it's not somebody's actual garden looking in their windows and it's not a military site and a couple of other exceptions, we are allowed to walk anywhere we like, which means that when the council puts up barriers like this one and somebody decides to decorate it, somebody else also just kind of goes round it. And so you can see that if I wanted to, I can go all the way around here and keep exploring. I don't really have any cause to do so right now though, so let's head back down. So the master plan is, I show you these great videos of Scotland and its wildlife, and I suspect what you're going to see are lots and lots of videos of me not finding Scotland's wildlife, which hopefully will be mildly amusing if nothing else. I'm not bothered, I get a nice walk in the sunshine. Sunshine, not something we get a lot of in Scotland, unfortunately. Last 3 or 4 days have just been grey and overcast, but when the blue appears above, or maybe even the big yellow scary thing up in the blue, I'll try and get out and get videos of something. There are some martins over there which are feeding off the surface of that reservoir, so they're diving down, swooping, picking up insects. But there is absolutely no chance that I am going to be able to track them with the enormous heavy lens I've got, or B, given they are small and they are a long way away, even get a decent picture of them. So that's not happening. Anyway, so John's travels in search of non-existent wildlife. These guys are cute and kind of friendly. I'm not going to go any closer to them. I don't want to disturb them. I don't know if you can hear the cygnets there giving it a little peep, 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 peep. But Mum and Dad are looking after them. Swans are pretty awesome. The swans are one of those creatures that mate for life. And yeah, I'll just throw in, today is my 26th wedding anniversary, so maybe I'm a swan. Nope, definitely more of an ugly duckling. So I've reached the far end of the reservoir here, and yeah, Normally this little bay behind me is full of all kinds of water birds, and today it's not. So I'm feeling that, you know, maybe I've picked entirely the wrong idea for this channel. Recording animals and recording birds is not going to work if the animals and birds don't show up. Anyone got any ideas? Maybe I just need to go somewhere different. So who'd have thought that keeping your camera and its giant lens in a bag where it needed to be unpacked would be a little bit inconvenient when something comes along that you want to take a photograph of. So I've taken out the camera. Maybe that will summon the critters to come and have their portraits done.